Hey folks, today I'm going to show you how to make homemade sauerkraut. This is what I came up with. This took about 4 days and then overnight, so I'd say 5 days, overnight in the refrigerator. So I'd say 5 days from start to finish. And I want to show you how I made this, and then I'll taste this, let you know what it's like. This is how I made it. Okay, here we go with the Farm Curious fermenting set. This is the lid, and this is the filter that will let all the excess gas release. Here I have my 2 pounds of cabbage, and I'm using a mandolin here because I have one. You could use a knife if you want, but this is the texture you're looking for. That's going to make perfect sauerkraut. So the mandolin just makes quick work at it. You just, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, here we go. 2 pounds. Shredded cabbage. Don't use prepackaged. Shred it yourself. And then we're going to get this ready to go into this jar. And here I have a tablespoon of kosher salt. That's all you need. 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. And then just thoroughly combine the salt with the cabbage, lifting from the bottom. So you want to really incorporate that salt. And then after just a couple minutes, you'll start to see the cabbage reducing. This is exactly what you want. Now I'm going to continue with this and squeeze it, constantly squeeze it. When you get to this point, you'll see that it's starting to release a lot of liquid, which is exactly what you want for this fermentation to work. See that? You give it a good squeeze, yeah, a lot of liquid. So just keep doing this, squeezing it. Then we have it. Got all that liquid in the bottom of the bowl. Now we're going to transfer this to our nice and clean canning jar. I suggest a wide mouth jar for this because it just makes it easier. And just add that. And tamp it down as you go, because you want to get this whole 2 pounds of cabbage in here, and it will fit. This is a quart-sized jar. So just keep adding until you're out of cabbage. Then tamp it down really good, and then pour any remaining liquid from the bowl, because you want that. That's essential for this fermentation. Tamp that down because you want to keep the cabbage below the level of the liquid. And just for temporary use, I'm using this little glass bowl just to hold that, because I ordered some glass weights that won't be here until the next day. So now let's add our lid, and then open the top, and then add our filter or our vent. And then you want to just add enough water to get that. I think there's a fill line at the top you can't see, but that will allow any gas that forms to vent out through the filter. And you put this little cap on. It's a vented cap, little holes in it that allow the gas to escape. If you don't have this set up, you could just open the top of the jar every day and vent it yourself, but this makes it easier. So that's been sitting out on the counter for 4 days, and this thing worked perfectly. Let's take the lid off, give it a look, give it a smell. Yeah, it looks good. Now here's that glass weight that I was talking about. These things are really great. I'm really glad I got that. It's going to come in handy for later things. So that's very pungent. It's a nice fermentation there. So I want to give this a taste, see if it's It's a right sourness for me. Yes, that's perfect. Now I did wash that fork after putting it in my mouth, so I just want to kind of tamp this back down. And then I'm going to add the lid, and I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator overnight to let it cool down, and that will stop the fermentation. And then I will give this a try tomorrow. So stay tuned. Pretty easy, right? 2 ingredients, cabbage and salt. And there's the finished product. Definitely smells like sauerkraut. Give it a taste. That is really good. Boy, I haven't had that in a long time. It's got, I think the 4 days for the fermentation was perfect for this. You could go a little bit longer if you want it more sour. But I think for me, this is the perfect sourness for sauerkraut. I've had some that wasn't nearly as sour. It basically just tasted like, I don't know, salted cabbage. This you can make yourself. You can control it. I might try it again. Maybe a little bit longer. Go 5 or 6 days. But frankly, 4 days was perfect. And once you refrigerate it, it will stop that fermentation. So it'll be like this, and it can stay for, I don't know, weeks, months, whatever. I'm sure we'll eat it up. Can't wait to try this on a hot dog. But boy, it's so crunchy and so flavorful. Well, there you have it, folks. Go make yourself some homemade sauerkraut. You'll be glad you did.